Hello, I'm Steve Starkey. I'm the Executive Director of Outreach and also a member of the Board of Community Shares of Wisconsin. On behalf of the board, the staff, the volunteers of Outreach, I want to thank Community Shares of Wisconsin for honoring our longtime client, volunteer, project manager, and donor, Dennis Bergren, with the Linda Sundberg Civil Rights Defender Award for 2012. Dennis has been involved with Outreach since he came out in 1985. During that difficult time in his life, Dennis found support in community outreach and has been involved with us in various ways ever since. Dennis was a retired high school teacher, and because of his love of books and education, his first work with Outreach was serving on Earl Greeley Memorial Library Committee. However, his work with Outreach is now greatly expanded. 4 years ago, Dennis founded the LGBT chapter of the Wisconsin Books for Prisoners Project. The project started out locally, but now distributes about 2,500 books a year to hundreds of LGBT prisoners nationally each year. Outreach serves as a fiscal agent for the project. LGBT people face discrimination on a daily basis: job discrimination, housing discrimination, anti-gay slurs, and violence. Imagine how much more difficult it is for an LGBT prisoner. LGBT people are more likely to be estranged from our families and less likely to have children or partners to visit them. Prison is often a violent place, especially for LGBT people. Many feel that no one supports them or cares about them. Dennis's project is a lifeline for these prisoners. Although Dennis has received small grants from the Harvest Foundation and a few individual outreach donors, most of the funds for his program have come from Dennis himself. Outreach has been glad to provide surplus books from our library to help out with his efforts. Dennis has also been in long-time leadership roles with the Madison area Gay by Fathers group and the Wisconsin Network for Peace and Justice. Dennis Bergren is a kind, generous, empathetic man. Although he's faced serious health challenges in the last few years, he continues to work with enthusiasm and grace. Dennis says simply, "I treasure books, I value education, and so what I do is send books to people who ask for them." Please welcome my friend and colleague, Dennis Bergren.
Thanks to all the Community Shares of Wisconsin for giving me this opportunity to address you today, and for presenting me with the Linda Sundberg Civil Rights Defender Award. When I read of Sundberg's contribution to human justice, I am thrilled at all that she accomplished and honored to receive this award in her memory. She was, and I am, conscious of all the work still to be done by individuals each in our own way. I was married and have 2 sons and now 6 wonderful grandsons. That was during a heterosexual phase of my journey and before I found the courage to come out and live a life true to myself. It is a heavy burden hiding a true identity from your family, your friends and colleagues, and from yourself. Masquerading as a normal person day after day is exhausting, is a saying attributed to a person known as Anonymous, but he or she definitely knew what he or she was talking about. I owe a great debt to Outreach, our local LGBT center, for providing support and services to me during this time of transition, as it has to so many others, providing a safe, welcoming environment in an often hostile and still malevolent society. Coming out was very difficult. I was afraid of being rejected by my friends and colleagues and by my children. What would they think? Today, thanks to G-Safe, many of our young people now have positive role models. Together, they can explore their feelings instead of burying them internally. They can actually come out in high school and put their energy toward developing their true selves. I so envy them, and I'm glad things are different now. But we still have a ways to go before everyone has this opportunity. Since coming out and finding my own place in the LGBT community, I have been active in many LGBT groups and issues at many levels, including the Wisconsin Network for Peace and Justice, and politically supporting LGBT candidates and LGBT-friendly candidates. Always a lover of books and education, I originally joined Wisconsin Books to Prisoners in hopes of combating prison injustice. There I saw an opportunity to help our LGBT prisoners across racial and ethnic lines who were special targets of unjust treatment by the correctional institutions as well as by their fellow prisoners. In the beginning, it was a matter of just offering LGBT books, but as word spread and interest grew, the LGBT project took on a life of its own, with a separate budget, book sources, and operation. The LGBT project is now a project of outreach, which provides fiscal sponsorship and much welcome volunteer help. And as you know, Outreach also nominated me for this award tonight. New Harvest Foundation, another Community Shares member, encouraged me and this project by giving us a grant which enabled the project to grow beyond Wisconsin and with continued support to now serve over 430 prisons in more than 40 states. Starting with 40 LGBT prisoners at the end of 2007, we now have grown to over 2,400 self-identified LGBT prisoners in our database. While I use these numbers to document the success of the program and justify our existence, it is disturbing that there are so many LGBT people ending up in prison. Let us hope that improved social conditions will provide increased acceptance and a better environment for members of our community in the future. Let me tell you about Joseph, an amputee, wheelchair bound because the prison took away his prosthetic leg. Confined to isolation in a concrete cube, never to leave it, with a steel door with a slot that opens for food and an occasional package from Wisconsin Books to Prisoners. He once loved the outdoors and outdoor activities, though his solitary confinement is an especially severe punishment. I don't know what he did. I never asked. But what is gained by such treatment? Is this befitting a civilized society? Whatever his past, Joseph is a very literate man for whom books provide the means to connect with his human aspects. Listen to Joseph's own words. Now, since I live inside a concrete cube, never leave it, removed entirely from life, from nature, I have found a way to live an active life by living in the books I read. They are the only life I have. They keep me from staring at the walls every day, or screaming and pounding on the steel door out of frustration, like so many do. Or cut my wrists up with razor blades. Many do. Many do. Isolation is a bitch. So I wander about inside true stories, enjoying the reported sights, landscapes, seascapes, stormy weather, noisy cities. I am living. Joseph's story illustrates a prison system that has mastered the punitive aspects, but is sorely lacking in rehabilitation and education, and giving people the dignity of trying to become a productive member of society. How can we allow a system where so many of us are forced to exist at the margins of our society? There is still much work to be done, fighting human injustice, whether in prison or in our society as a whole. Again, thank you for this Linda Sundberg Civil Rights Defender Award, your kind attention, and the recognition of this Books to LGBT Prisoners project.